So I adopted this dog from a blacksmith. As soon as I got home, he made a bolt for the door. What a joke. Nailed it. Hey kids, Adam here. Welcome to part 6, the final part in the series where I take and remix a song with Reaper stock plugins. And I basically replace all my plugins that I've done with Waves and some other third-party plugins with the Reaper stock plugins that you can find in a standard install of Reaper. I haven't mentioned this since the first video. Throughout this series, I'm not using any of the free Reaper script stuff that you can, or Repack, or any of those plugins. You can get completely for free. Don't have to sign up for anything like that. But there are so many hundreds of billions of thousands of bazillion plugins there. I didn't want to get into those. I wanted to do just a standard default install of Reaper and go with the plugins that were there. So let's head over to Reaper and we'll finish this thing up. All right, here we are in Reaper. First thing I want to do is go through all of the plugins individually. I'm not going to do a sound comparison on one versus the other. And then I'll show you how I managed to get the Reaper side of things done. And then I'm just going to play the song from beginning to end. And in between each section, like halfway through, I will swap, or maybe a couple times in some of the longer sections, I will swap back over from Waves to Reaper and back, and I'll put something on the screen that you know what's going on. So the last a couple minutes of this video will just be that without me talking. I know you guys probably appreciate that. So if we open up my master track, I have a video, and I'll put a card up here for it, for all of the mix bus processing that I do. And this is changed a little bit from time to time over the mixes and over the years. This was probably 3 or 4 mixes older than my current mix, so some of them plugins may not be exact, but what I'm doing is essentially the same. After I do a pan and fader mix, I put a mix bus compressor on it and I mix through it. Now I only do a small amount of gain reduction. In fact, let me go to a chorus and play. You can see the meter here. So in the loudest part of the song, I'm doing almost 4 dB of gain reduction. I could probably back that off a dB or 2. I want 2 to 3 dB at the absolute loudest section of the song. So in the beginning, there's almost nothing going on. So to emulate the SSL compressor, I used part of the settings that are in the SSL comp. Like I have over here, I have a 30 millisecond attack and a 0.1 second release, which should be 100 milliseconds. And I'm using a ratio of 2 to 1. And I take the makeup gain and I bring it all the way down here as -5. And that's so I can give myself more headroom in mixing. In the ReaComp side, I did the same attack, release, and ratio. I did a -5 output so I could get a little bit more headroom. And then I did the 2 settings that were in the drum video that from John Tidy's video on how ReaComp can be a compression engine where you can emulate other compressors. So the knee size of 0.5 dB and the RMS of 1.5 helps kind of smooth things out. And then I dialed in the threshold to get that like 2 to 3 dB of gain reduction. Next is EQ. And I did, on the original, I did a PuigTec. And I did this PuigTec trick where you take and leave the boost and attenuation right around the same value. I found 1.8 and 1.5 happen to work. I'm doing a slight boost here just below, 2.7, almost 3 dB at right around 5K. Not doing anything else with it. To emulate that on the Reaper side, I kind of guessed, and I kind of went back and forth by ear. I know that the PuigTec does kind of a bump and a cut in the same thing you can't really emulate in a standard EQ. So I did a bump at 30 hertz of 3.9 dB, and I kind of just played around with this. I put it at 30 and I kind of played around with to get it to sound similar. And then I also did a bump at like 12K on a high shelf because that was kind of where it sounded like it was really being similar to the PuigTec. This one won't be exact. It'll be close though. And then for standard EQ, I was using the Waves Q4 for some reason. I honestly don't know. I have so many damn EQ plugins. I don't know what to choose half the time. I should have just gone with ReaEQ. But I just have some simple settings here. I have a high pass filter at 20 hertz just to get that extreme low off without affecting the low end. I did a bump at 58 of 2 dB just for kind of that basic kick bass combination. I did a -3 cut at 293. That's right around that 300 hertz boxy area. And I did a 2 dB boost at about 8K. And on the Reaper side, I just emulated those with the same frequencies in the same numbers and called it a day. I'm going to skip this next one for a second. Kramer Tape. I'm using a mastering clean and open preset within Kramer Tape, and I just kind of adjust the levels a little bit. I'm only adding, a little over 1 dB here. To kind of emulate that, I'm using JS saturation, and I said in the past video, I think anywhere between 60 and 75% is good for some of these. This one happened to be 55%. Now, what I noticed over doing all of these different things is that I needed to back off the volume a little bit. And that was probably because the makeup gain in the SSL comp and the ReaComp aren't exactly the same. So I just took a 2 dB cut in volume on the end of this. So now let's get over to this plugin that I've kind of glossed over, and I'm going to address it now. This is the Greg Wells MixCentric or GW MixCentric from Waves. It is one of these one knob kind of magical mystery plugins. It is doing EQ, compression, harmonics, saturation, all in a one knob thing. And there's really no way to emulate that, at least in a timely manner where I don't spend hours and hours and hours and days of my life losing my mind. So what I've decided, and I broke a couple of rules in the first video, I'm breaking a rule in this one. I'm using this plugin in my final mix. I first heard about this plugin a number of years ago. It was in the Waves bundle that I bought, and I never really used it. I didn't know what it was. One knob, okay, whatever. I don't need that. I saw a Recording Revolution video where he was doing a promo with Waves, and he talked about it, where he said he was doing mixes with it, and he kind of decided to keep it in his mix. And I go in my mix bus processing more on this, of what it does and what it sounds like on and off. I hate to sound like this, but I don't really think I can mix without this. It opens things up in a way that I can't normally. And like I said, I probably could if I started messing around, but I like the way this thing works. I set this at 31.4. I leave it, and then I take a little bit of output gain. I bump input a little bit and take the output down a little bit just to get the volume to match. So what I did in the Reaper side is I matched the two. Same settings. I just copied and pasted the plugin, and I put it in the same order of where it was. Let's do a before and an after. And I'm going to do the whole song, and I'm going to, like halfway through the verse, cut over from one to the other. I'll put something on the screen. I may take my camera off the screen just so you don't have to watch me watching the screen the whole time. But here we go. Enjoy.
You are so beautiful. Can't keep my eyes off of you. You are so wonderful. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I want you to say, yeah, break away. Yeah. I want you to say. Come on, won't you stay? Because
All right, so there it is. There's a comparison of all the Master Fader plugins in a before and after in the mix. What do you guys think? I thought I pretty much what I've been saying the whole time. I think the reverb was a little lacking. I think everything else was pretty close. I was able to use like JS wave shaping and distortion and JS saturation to kind of emulate Kramer Tape. I still love Kramer Tape. I'm gonna use that everywhere. But I did find there were some plugins that probably can go back to using the Reaper stock, especially EQ. ReaComp is very, very powerful. There's some analog things that I really like in the other plugins, but I think there's some things that that the Reaper plugins do just fine. So that's the end of this series. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's any parts you have questions on, want me to go over in further detail. There's probably separate videos I could do of all of these things. Like I could do a single video on the 1175 versus the 1176 compressors, or the 1073 different versions, or things like that. In the meantime, click the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell thingy so I can annoy you whenever I upload new videos. And until next time, have an amazing week. All right, here we are on over. All right, so that is the final mix comparison. Oh, that is not the final mix comparison. Why am I talking about reverbs? I think I did that in the first video too. I had a lot of fun with it. There were a number of things that I found that I thought I could live without that I could actually use. God damn it! All right, that should do it.